Okay, so we've talked about the first two steps of embedding a quote into your writing. So the first step is to attribute the author, and the second step is to put it among your own words. And so the last and final step is to make sure you have the correct punctuation and referencing so that your writing flows pretty seamlessly. So here are some examples of the punctuation, and we did this in our grammar practice earlier this morning, but let's just kind of review this. So let me get, Gabriella, can you read that first example for me?
Sure. Mr. Johnson, who was working in his field that morning, said the alien spaceship appeared right before my own 2 eyes.
Okay, so what is correct about this one? So we have our attribution. So who said this quote, Marielle?
Mr. Johnson.
Correct, so Mr. Johnson said this quote, and we have our quotation marks, we have a comma before we start our quote, and then we have a period inside of our quotation marks. So that's really what we want to look at. We want to make sure that we have all those parts, and those are in your guided notes, so just make sure you have the copy down. Okay, let me get you to read the second example, Elizabeth.
When will you be here? He asked.
Okay, so here we have a question mark. So it's a little bit different from a sentence where we're doing said before and when we have a period. But regardless, our punctuation is always going to go inside of our quotation marks, and we're always going to make sure that we know who said the quote. So in this case, it's he. We don't have any context, but we know that he said it. And that's one of the most important things. Okay, so now we have a not so great example. This is pretty crazy. So Jane Smith states that there are many good reasons to eat dark chocolate. Dark chocolate contains many antioxidants. So it's a little wacky. So knowing what we know about those first two quotes and why those are good quotes, I want you to turn and talk to your neighbor about what this student could have done to improve the embedding of that quote. So just talk about it for about a minute or so.
I think that she needs to say it.
Yes, the period does. And it also needs to be a comma after chocolate.
Yeah, it's not clear who said it.
Yeah, the first
maybe
chocolate.
something like
Leading into the quote.
June.
Okay.
There are many good reasons
That it should be rephrased, actually. James could say that there are many good reasons to drink chocolate, such as improves many antioxidants. Or states that, or just like rephrased.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so let me get everybody back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Okay, so I heard a lot of good things. So Rachel, what did you and Gabriella talk about?
At first we talked about how there should be a period inside of the quotation at the end.
Oh, sorry, I didn't do that. Okay.
And then Gabriella said that there should be a comma before the quote, and I said that maybe it should just be rephrased instead. So Jane Smith states that there are many good reasons to eat dark chocolate, such as dark chocolate contains many antioxidants.
Okay. So Marielle, did you and Elizabeth have anything different or anything else to add?
Yeah, Elizabeth and I were saying that we could even separate it into maybe 2 sentences, like there are many good reasons to eat dark chocolate, period. Dark chocolate contains many antioxidants, Jane Smith states.
Okay, so I agree with both of you. I think probably one of the best options here is to just rephrase it. But the one thing we just really want to make sure we do is that we have the appropriate quotation marks, and we're making sure that our period and all of our correct punctuation is inside of our quotation marks. So thank you guys for being so attentive and answering those questions. So make sure in your guided notes that you're following around and that you're writing this down in your example section. Okay, so now we know there's 3 steps to making sure that our quote is properly embedded. The first step is attribution. Second step is putting it among your own words. And the third step is punctuation. So we're just going to do a call and response chant. So I want you to give me the first A.
Attribute.
The second A.
Among your own words.
The third, the P.
Punctuation.
Okay, now let's do a lot more energy, a lot more hype. So A.